What? Why didn't that didn't change it? But it is picking me up. Um, and I need to change the desktop audio to cable A input.
Yeah, input. Hold on. Yeah, it should be that. Whatever is voice meter input.
Yeah, there we go. That seems to be working. Okay, sorry about the slight pause and quietness and stuff. We're having a few technical difficulties, and I had to take over the stream, and I've not done it before, so
There we go. It's all good. Voice meter input should have been.
yeah,
Just
that's
input,
what it did.
not cable.
We're all good.
Okay, cool. Right. Sorry about that. Yeah. Damn eldritch interruptions. Anyway, so we have here Andy, who have just cast a major image spell to make Llewellyn and Karis look like helpless victims on the Titanic, and they're on the glaive, floating next to one another. Meanwhile, the real Llewellyn has been charging up a lightning bolt and is ready to unleash it against the two spirits. They are currently in a 90-foot line with one another, and you could even hit the turtle.
I'm not going to try and anger the turtle.
All right. Good
We'll try and make sure that they do die, so I'm going to roll it at 5th level.
To anger the turtle, it's to anger the DM. And that we do not want. Oh no. Okay. Well, good news. Let's come back into the tenseness of this.
Yep.
So, right now, the spirit is flying straight towards the mouth of the turtle, and as it raises its jaws, you see this creature turning into an inky tendril about to possess the creature. As soon as your lightning bolt strikes through, it sees it coming just a second too late. From its perspective, it turns its head to see this small wizard flailing in the air, and then suddenly a streak of lightning straight through its body, and very much in the same vein as earlier, its body is overloaded and explodes outwards, much like a Ghostbuster hitting the stream just at the right angle. The other creature is still very much alive, but even though it did take a whopping 35 lightning, it looks towards you. Her body kind of spasming and electrified still.
Nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Very
I was
way.
certain that was going to...
It is Kashan's go.
Shoot it. Shoot it. Just kill it.
The thing is, I don't think the cannons are going to be effective on the ghost. Because it'll be a bludgeoning damage or something, won't it? And they'll be immune to it.
It's magical.
I don't know. Do our cannons count as magical?
They're magically fired.
Oh. Do we know if they're actually magical or not?
They're magically fired, is what I just said. The ammunition inside is
Mundane.
metal.
Okay. Damn it.
Anyway, Kashan, if you'd like to try something, you can.
What? Yes. Sorry. What am I doing? Where are we?
You're on the ship.
Stay with us. Focus.
Cool.
We're on the ship. There's a
Yeah, I'm
spirit
here. I'm here.
180 foot away.
Okay, so speed, please.
Speed.
You're going to boost again.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, you thrust her
Yeah, I'm
again.
gonna
Roll a d6, Kashan.
be decent. Luckily, I have shortcuts for that. 1.
Okay. The thrusters have not recharged, but you can still keep a forward momentum.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Angry turtle.
Angry turtle, I didn't hit it.
Still angry.
No.
It goes below you, Llewellyn, and opens its jaws. And
Oh,
that'll
no.
end its turn.
Oh no, I know what it's planning to do.
Irina.
Yes, kill the thing. Someone kill the thing.
It's Irina, sorry. Irina.
Oh my god.
You're back on the ship now. And you're hundreds of feet away from them. With the ship kind of taking off.
You're muted, I think.
Yeah, sorry. it's 300 feet. I can still Eldritch sniper it. Just about.
Yeah, actually.
So
yeah.
It's fine. 1.
Oh.
16.
7
2.
damage.
7.
12.
Is that a hit?
And the last one? Oh my god. 7 plus 5 plus... Oh, tell me how you want to do this on this
It
last
also
one.
takes 2d6 if all 3 of those hit.
How do you defeat the last spectral possessed creature?
Like,
with
if
your
the tendrils and stuff start coming out, obviously my Eldritch Blast is literally a flume of black smoke. I'm just like, hey, I can do that too! And do straight into its mouth instead.
Oh. Taste of its own medicine.
So then Candlewick is technically for the final blast, the soul fuse. It's literally going in and exploding the ghost.
I like it. It does, indeed. And obviously, we've discussed how Candlewick literally sets their soul on fire. And in a voice only it can hear, says, whatever volcanoes dream of, seems like they always wake up grumpy.
I don't know why that's so funny. I think it's because as you said it, you went out of focus, and that just made me chuckle.
Well, there you go.
Candlewick has like the most bizarre thought. He sounds like he's trying to be like all like zen and profound, but it's actually just nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was probably just thinking to himself about that. He wasn't even aware that there was a battle going on. He's like, oh, right, yeah. Destruction and chaos, I remember. Regardless, Carrius, you have just seen Irina finish off her last spirit. Is anything left? Is a tumbling Llewellyn towards the jaws of the creature are waiting.
How far away is he from me at the moment?
Okay. How far did you teleport off the ship?
I've moved 50 feet on that turn.
So he's 130 from you.
Okay. Let me. I can
Oh, yeah,
maybe
that's
do something. Right.
And currently, the turtle is currently like the crocodile from Hook or Peter Pan, where he's just like waiting,
Yeah,
waiting for the wizard to fall.
I'm practically Captain Hook as well.
It's like you are.
Look at the eye.
It's
Like
so
little
true.
fingers splashing in the water.
Like I've got an
Okay.
eye patch and a hook right now.
Right. Okay. So, while in terms of like total distance, he's 120 feet away. How
Yes.
far away is he in terms of for me just getting above him?
Oh,
Oh.
I see what you're asking, because you fell 60. You didn't go that way, 60.
Yeah.
So 20. You'd be like 20 foot. Wait.
Basically, I want to try to fly above him and then just free fall to grab him.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously
yeah.
my movement as free falling is faster.
Yes, I get what you're trying to do, and that could probably work. Though, if you free fall, do you have a way to slow your fall afterwards?
Well, I was planning to, after I free fall, I was just planning to. Well, I have a glaive. I was just going to stop myself on the glaive, or just,
Okay.
or to change my momentum. I'll just, once I've grabbed him, I'm just going to thunder step back up as my action.
Okay.
And
I will say that
I do have that little bit of control of the wind.
you do, but you conserve momentum when you fall. So if you decide to fall, which will be like a 90-foot drop. Hold on. Let me just check. 30. It's a 70-foot drop towards him.
And
So you will have fallen 70 foot, which means there's a 76 waiting at some point, somewhere, if you land on a surface. But you
well,
will conserve momentum even after teleporting.
that's the thing. After I grab him, Llewellyn can use his reaction to slow me down.
In that case, then you're
So,
banking on
that's
that.
literally what that's what Garrus is going to do. He's just going to be like, and just sort of turn himself into a dive and just sort of dive down towards him, holding the glaive down, and just sort of grab Llewellyn by the collar and be like, slow us down, and then.
I'm already feather falling. How does that work? Like, do we fall?
You will need to recast it effectively.
Yeah.
But
I've-
then you fall another 60 foot, which means you're 30 feet from the water.
Yeah, but
Fine.
yep, but as soon as I've got Llewellyn, I'm gonna thunder step back up, and then hopefully that's when he uses Featherfall, because then we're starting to fall and we're not as far up.
Okay.
And
All right.
then once we're feather falling, then I'm grabbing hold of the glaive, which can support both of us, stop us falling.
Excellent. Are you doing this, Llewellyn? Or you?
Yes. Then on my turn, I polymorph into a giant eagle, grab Carius, and fly us to the boat.
Jeez. Okay. Flipping out. And as you fly off into the distance, you check behind you to see what terror lurks behind, and you still see the turtle underneath Llewellyn and Carius with its jaws open. It's still waiting for them to fall. Because they are underneath the major illusion that Andy created.
I just
I'd be very disappointed.
I just hope it's stupid enough that it stays there until it starves.
But the thing is, it has a sense of like smell, like so it can smell them both. Hear them both.
You see a couple of feeble spears thrown up at them. They don't even reach. Maybe another Eldritch Blast from the priestess, which is still lurking in the water, by the way, finally emerges and looks around to see what's gone on.
Oh boy.
Sees you rush off in the distance. Looks like you left a survivor, one to tell the tale.
To be
the
fair,
chaos.
all it's seen is a cloud.
Yeah. None of them know about our boat.
That was no ordinary cloud.
Yeah, but it doesn't know what was behind it. It's fine.
I'm going to activate Quivering Palm and annihilate it in one.
Well, I
I'm
will
going to
end.
instantly become level 17 and just...
I'll end combat as any other attempt to chase you guys down is actually concerted on the major illusion, and after they finally reveal it, you're long and away from danger.
Yeah. So we eventually get back to the ship. Giant Eagle drops me down, and Karis just will look at the rest of the crew and be like, right, next time I suggest we go and fight sea monsters to save people, and we don't know there's people definitely for there, try to talk me out of it. Please.
I pull out my journal, I write this out, and then I give it to him to sign like a contract.
Yeah, Karis does sign it. He's like, even by my standards, that was really, really, well, to be honest, I didn't realize there was going to be a giant turtle or ghosts, but still.
I also grab one of the sand gudgeons or whatever they're called from the rock as I fly away as an eagle.
I then also turn to a page in my book that's labeled "I told you so's," and then that you've just got everybody's names, and I'm just gonna put a line.
How many does mine have?
3.
And Kashan, apologies for sort of leaving you down there by yourself. I was trying, but I sort of had to carry Llewellyn.
It's perfectly fine. If I'm honest, when I was actually falling down there, I thought all of you were following me. Isn't that so funny? And
Yeah.
so when I went down, I thought I was a goner. But then Andy swept out of nowhere and saved my life. And well, I'm just very happy to have all of you as my friends.
Well, Andy is the ship's doctor after all.
You may want to check his head.
I don't know how
I'm-
I got this position of doctor. I mean, don't you need to go to doctor school or something?
You seem to be a natural at it. I don't think. I mean, I could check, but
Andy literally has a PhD in music.
I have a PhD in music and yet, ended up being a medical doctor, not a music doctor.
Well, we did ask if there was a doctor on board. You said yes. You just didn't realise the type of doctor.
See, that's what her dad was up to all this time. He was actually, teaching her at university level.
Possibly. Who knows? Right. So, the good news is we potentially stopped that turtle being able to fly after us because we killed all the ghosts.
Yeah.
Bad news is there were more of those things on the back of the ship, which means they might try to do that spell again, but for now, that's not our concern. Let's rest up, get to the Clawed Coast, and get ready to negotiate with dragons. Honestly, some sort of sixth sense of mine is telling me this isn't going to go well, but
When does anything go well?
okay. From my interactions previously with dragons, that I can remember. I know I don't remember much, but I remember some.
Ah, yes.
And from reading, obviously, how much do I know about like approaching dragons? Their sort of etiquette, I suppose, like their manners.
They're big, 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 big meanies.
well, from
All
what
of them.
from what I know of dragons, the best way to get is probably to bring them a gift. And the shark told you to roll an Arcana check.
Why is the shark asking for an Arcana check? Alright, the shark knows.
He's like my sock puppet. He's like, roll, 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 roll.
16.
Okay. The one you fought, talked. If anything, I shouldn't even correct myself. When you fought this dragon, it did not want to talk. The creature you saw was ferocious and very, very hostile. You can imagine if it did want to talk, it would probably talk down to you in a very haughty, superior-like way, talking down to you as if you was just an ant.
But like the different colored dragons are obviously have different etiquette roles. I'm wondering specifically blue dragons. Do I know much about?
You did read. Have you picked up the book on? Who picked up the draconic book?
I've got that.
Carius has got it.
Like-
And
I'm helping him read through it.
yeah,
In that case, then you can roll again effectively because you have a book on it. So roll advantage effectively.
Okay.
So
17.
a bit better. So, blue dragons are the most sociable of the dragons. The dragons you would normally encounter rather wouldn't have a conversation. They'd rather eat you or incinerate you where you stand for having entered into its lair. Only reason you're able to talk to them in the first place is because they are blue. The problem is, however, this is going to be about territory, and it might not necessarily be something you can just verbally convince them. You might
No,
be
but I'm looking for ways that I can, like if you were going to approach like a member of like the court or something, you'd want to sort of like, I don't know.
know the right manners, like the
Yeah.
right way to address them, sort of things.
Yeah, obviously, humble is one way, and groveling is another. Although, if you was to show weakness, the dragon might actually strike at that. You need to somehow remain respectful of the dragon as if it was a superior being, but also do not show as if you are just a measly, someone not even worth their time and consideration. It's going to be a balancing act of showing your own strength without trying to undermine the dragons. And for that, you're going to have to maybe practice some humility. But not more than that. I think this is a good opportunity to actually start learning Draconic as well, because
Yeah.
if you could speak their language, it might be a good sign of respect. The fact that you can speak their native tongue. Of course,
I'll spend like a couple of hours each day in the run up to approaching the claw coast, just teaching everyone some like key phrases and things like that.
Taklo will assist.
So we have to be intimidating, but not.
Not intimidating, respectful.
From our studies of the book, is there... Because I know it's just like general dragon culture and such, but does it, as part of like the cultural studies, does it perhaps detail the favoured treasure of that type of dragon? Like, I know out of character white dragons prefer like silver and platinum, but I don't know anything about blues to even guess. I'd guess blue stuff, but...
well, they, funnily enough, live in the desert, and there ain't much blue there. So if anything, blue dragons kind of stick out like a sore thumb. However, reading on, trying to find critical information about what they hoard over, blue dragons covet, believe it or not, valuable and talented creatures whose service reinforces their sense of superiority. Bards, sages, artists, wizards, and assassins can even become valuable agents for a blue dragon, which rewards loyal service handsomely. They keep their layers very well protected, and even the most trusted servants are rarely allowed within them. But it says it encourages pancakes, giant scorpions, and other creatures of the desert to dwell near its lair for additional security. So it might not just be blue dragons you'd have to circumvent.
Chris,
Yes.
what does the book say anything about their relationships towards other dragon types, like say black dragon?
Yeah, okay, we'll get on to that. But first of all, other than servants, also, believe it or not, they can attract elementals, believe it or not, within the area. Other than all of that, the biggest hoarders usually collect anything that's valuable. Like dragons in general are especially fond of gold. Blue dragons, more so gems than gold.
That's what
And
I
of course,
thought.
they do covet beautiful colors, sapphires, jewelry, magic items adorned with these gems would be their highest value
Okay.
items.
So Carius works kind of in two ways, because he's blue, and he would work quite well as a servant for a blue dragon. Probably not as well as Irina or the bard or the wizard, but still.
So,
And you guess the fact that they can be perhaps swayed with gems, maybe you could potentially buy your way in, or perhaps just rather than tell them to go after something, you could perhaps bribe them. You come to the conclusion, but it's going to be a tricky thing to navigate. You're going to have to judge whether they are into the idea or not.
Do you know what? Blue dragons sound kind of like a mafia clan.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
but yeah, I have the heart of a black dragon. By chance, are they the enemy of blue dragons?
So most dragons hate other dragons, right? I'm just going to say that as a flat, sweeping statement, by the way. Except metallics. Metallics are obviously more good aligned. They'll be more tolerant of each other. But chromatics, they all hate each other as much. They're very kind of like...
Yeah, I know. Black dragons are technically the smallest, aren't they? I think in terms of,
Yeah.
And I know white dragons like to bully younger dragons of other species.
The older dragons will all bully younger ones, but so
yeah, so a black dragon heart would be decent proof to show that we are formidable and useful enough to a blue dragon.
Right.
I would assume.
potentially, but it might not. It might not suddenly go, "Oh, great heroes, you're amazing. Let me give you some."
I will just say, Irina, you teaching them a couple of few phrases of Draconic?
Yes.
That's
Beg
very
pardon?
cute.
I'm fluent in Draconic.
Mm-hmm. As am I.
Okay, that's fine. Are you an experienced teacher?
Kinda.
Night,
Then,
guys.
by all means.
Good night, Kirsty.
Well, I was going to wrap it up here anyway. 'cause it
I don't
seems
think
appropriate.
tongues
Kinda.
actually allows you to read and write languages. You're just able to speak with all languages.
Yeah,
It's fine
anyone
if
can.
Kashan thinks he can do a better job, then he can have a go. It's fine. Don't come crying to me. It'll go in my I told you so column for Kashan.
And
It's fine.
technically,
Fine then. I guess I shall. I shall be the best teacher that there has ever been teaching.
technically, I think you're only fluent
You're a new
with.
teacher. Have fun.
I think
Could you
you're
give me
only
some teaching
fluent in
pointers?
Draconic when speaking to dragons.
Yeah.
Well, actually, do you want to give it a go, Kishan?
Yeah, sure.
So
I
you go to
speak
speak,
Draconic.
so you go to speak Draconic, which, well, can you even speak Draconic normally?
Yes. Oh, normally no.
No. Cool.
Well,
So
yeah, because I know all languages.
No,
Well-
you understand all languages.
no. Even that's another. Okay, so Kishan starts saying something, and give me your best Draconic expression, and also whisper me. Or I didn't actually. You don't have to bother whispering me. Just do your best Draconic expression. Give it to me.
Rar.
Rawr. Okay.
XD.
Yeah. Everyone. What was that also trying to say? Was that hello?
Roar XD. uh, just hello.
Okay. So he kind of does this small roar, and everyone understands what he just says,
Bro.
which is hello. It translates into your mind as hello, even though you don't know. Even if you don't know a lick of Draconic, when Kashan speaks in that voice, you understand what it means.
But we don't know what it is in Draconic. He just said hello. That's it.
Yeah, because we understand
heard him-
whatever he says.
You heard him say "raw XD,"
Okay.
but it actually translated in your mind, so you know what
Yeah.
he meant when he said it.
So can he teach us Draconic or not? That's the question.
Well, the thing is, I think whilst he said raw XD, that's not necessarily Draconic, but whatever he says in whatever language, we understand the meaning of it. He could say,
Yeah.
and it could just mean, "Hi, how are you?" But we'd get it.
I mean,
But
shall we
would-
try that? We can
but we
test the
wouldn't-
theory.
But we
Chris,
wouldn't learn Draconic.
I
that
say-
way.
Okay, but what were you actually trying to say?
So I was trying to say, break it down, bitch. Let me see you back it up.
Yes, you understand exactly what he said. Some sort of lyrics to a song.
Taco.
So I'm hearing, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm not learning anything from this. I'm going to stick with Irina.
Yeah, and we also have the little mini teaching assistant, Taklo, who also speaks Draconic.
That's true. Yeah, maybe you can let me do the talking.
Yeah, I just sort of look.
Be the charisma of the party, I guess.
Both me and Irene probably look at you at that, just like.
But oh god, it's gonna be a mess when this comes to it. You're gonna see your family first, of course, I assume.
Yeah.
Tell them the news.
Yeah, and that might, which I'm really looking forward to, Chris, by the way.
That's great. It's gonna be.
But not only to give them the news, but it might be worth, one, trying to speak to his dad, if he'll even speak to him, to see if he knows anything about blue dragons being like super powerful and when the perfect storm is actually going to happen, because he's super powered version of Carius. He's like Carius 2.0. And he might have done blue dragons. Plus, considering his family is a merchant family, I wouldn't be surprised, but have to discuss this, I guess, if they'd maybe done some trades, like having to go through there at some point in the past.
For sure.
Like maybe like a blue dragon's been out on a hunt and like so they've given it something in order to like, you know.
I've got ideas. Well, also, yeah, something else you know about where you're coming from. Well, actually, we'll leave that. It's better to explore things than just tell you. So we'll leave that a little
Right.
secret.
So
That was tense.
is that a good time to wrap it
I
up?
think it is. Yeah, we'll close it up here. But just to wrap up things up, just give me a. We'll say this is in the next day or two. You can roll me a perception check. See what lies on the horizon, so we have something to look forward to the next session.
Okay.
All of
Well,
us?
next
Yeah, everyone.
days or two, which means we.
And of course, Andy would be with advantage.
Alright, this one's Irina's.
Yeah.
Now let me roll Andy's then.
Perception check.
Sorry, I'm just looking.
Oh,
I'm confused. I'm looking at my sheet and I'm not sure why that's the
Oh.
case. When I
Rough.
untick that,
wow.
31 for Andy.
Andy with the spyglass.
20
Thank
for
God,
me.
because the best perceptor's got natural ones.
Okay. Well,
My perception's not rolling for some reason.
You don't have any.
There we go. Oh,
Not one as well.
everyone is either
yeah,
busy
cheers,
talking
you
with ship. Harris here at the helm, keeping an eye on the horizon for any potential near dangers or, local wildlife. But the sailing goes pretty smooth, and at this point, Cynthia and her Thorn would have left, but we'll say goodbyes for next session. This is kind of just a little leap ahead, flash forward, if you will. But
Mine shouldn't even be that high. I don't have proficiency in perception. It lies to me, my sheet.
Andy, however, being the ever vigilant lookout with the spyglass atop the crow's nest, does spot something in the distance. Although, if it wasn't for the spyglass, they would have brought a natural one. I mean, they would have been kicked back, playing some music, and then they spot something, a glint in the distance. And of course, Andy is the first person to see or to investigate a sparkling thing. And so, pulling out the spyglass and adjusting it, realizing it's the wrong way, turns it around again, spies into the distance a beautiful, dazzling crystal. And it is atop some sort of landmass. Maybe the landmass is made of crystal. You're not sure. Either way, it is so bright that the sunlight is reflecting off of it in multiple different angles, kind of giving you this, this like dazzling effect. And you can't believe what they see with their own eyes. They kind of have to wipe the end of the telescope just to make sure it's real. Looks again. No, this is no mirage. There is some sort of crystalline island in the distance, sparkling in the sunlight. So we'll investigate what that is next session. But land ho.
Will we though?
In
Will
the direction we're going.
You are heading west, yes.
Okay.
That's right, the turtle's going to make a comeback next week.
Mhm.
Then the ghosts are going to make a comeback. And
Yeah.
then we are going to get to the Cold Coast.
Anyway,
Right after the
these
sea
ads
people make a comeback.
after these messages.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, that'll be all for today. Sorry about the technical difficulties as usual. Thanks for bearing with us. And we'll see you all on Sunday for the Baba Yaga's Dancing Hut, the Witch Hunters at 7 p.m. GMT, and then on Monday as well with the Chaos Breakers, followed by the Last Resort Company. So stay tuned for all those.
Yep. So,
Bye.
bye.